What can I do for you? Anything I can help you with? I'm sure you can find something you like.
Painful memories or not, it's good to be home.
The UC's fleet must be the strongest out there, now and always. There is no alternative. Welcome back. Did you find your answers?
And we did it for the child that was marooned there. A child, born from two of the crew, that survived the crash. After her parents died. That poor girl spent years surviving on that hostile world, alone. We abandoned her, Admiral. We let her down.
I'm sorry. I had no idea. How could we have possibly known? Sona. Is that her name? She must be a remarkable young woman.
She's extraordinary, Admiral. And I'm afraid the United Colonies let her down.
You're absolutely right, Sarah. We did let her down. One thing that I can assure you is that the names of these men and women will never be forgotten. I'll see to it personally.
Thank you, Admiral.
Good luck to both of you. It's been an honor.
Once we're done here, we should have a little talk with Sona. Poor thing's waiting for us at the lodge. Can't think of a better place to recharge and ready ourselves for our next mission.
I guess we need to talk.
Have you talked to Vladimir recently?
There you are. I was wondering when he'd come and say hi to me.
Hello, Sona. I see you found your way to the lodge without any trouble.
Yeah, it was kind of hard though. All these people around. Never seen so many people in my entire life. Sarah gave me directions. She's really good at that. Riding that gnat thing was super cool. It was like magic or something. Like something from the stories Mom used to read. But the hardest part was having everyone staring at me. All these people in one place. It's kind of scaring me. I don't know why. They sure won't. They have to catch me first.
It's true. You're one of the toughest people I've ever met. So, what do you think? Do you like it here, Sona?
At the lodge? Yeah, this place is huge. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. You must be like a bazillionaire, Sarah.
Oh, don't I wish? This place isn't mine alone. It belongs to everyone who's a part of Constellation. And I think it should belong to you too, Sona. I want you to stay here and make this your home.
Whoa. Does that mean I get to go exploring with both of you? Or wait, do I get my own ship? I mean, this place is great and all, but ever since my mom taught me that there are hundreds of planets out there, I'm itching to go see all of them. And if it means I get my own ship, that'd be amazing.
Exactly. And don't worry. At the rate you're growing, it won't be long until you're grav jumping to unexplored star systems on your own ship.
I understand. Oh, and don't worry, I learn real fast, so you better get ready to have another member of Constellation signing on for missions.
I can't wait.
Well, anyway, thanks for letting me stay here. I promise I won't let either of you down.
I'm sure that you won't. Well, I think we should let Sona get settled. If you wouldn't mind, I'd like to visit the Colony War Memorial now. I want to pay my final respects.
If you want to talk, make it quick. I think I'm late for Noelle's science lesson. It's amazing. I've never seen anything like it in all my life. Not even in Mom's picture slates. It's almost like a fairy tale. Like it's not real, you know? I'm sure that sounds pretty dumb to you. But hey, I lived in a house made from busted up spaceship parts and trees. Yeah, a little bit. That planet was the only real home that I ever knew. I know it sounds kind of weird, but it feels like I've left my family behind. It was a really tough decision to make. But you and Sarah were right. I had to move on with my life. And hey, one day when I'm old enough, I could always go back for a visit. Don't worry about me, I'll be fine.
Walter spends a fortune to maintain the lodge, but I'd say it's worth every credit.
This is all exciting, but there's really a lot of pressure on us, isn't there? We have to get this right.
Let's get out there and do something new today, shall we?
I'd like to talk to you about something when you have the chance. Remember, you're representing all of us out there.
I hope Cora doesn't get too much underfoot. I don't got many friends, so I figure I gotta level with you. My past keeps showing up. I should get ahead of it before I get behind it. Hell, this is tougher than I thought it was gonna be. Right. When I turned 18, my dad used one of his many connections to get me my first real job. That, plus the magical co-family name, meant I was shipping freight out of Aquila. If there's a way to take the wonder out of space, it was working for that outfit. Every milligram of helium-3 accounted for, timetables down to the second, too busy to ever really appreciate anything. Or even look up. And the pay? Well, it paid for my apartment, but that's about all I can say for it. So, an opportunity comes by from the boss man. He says, run this job, don't ask questions, and there's a bonus. Hell, I was still just a kid. I jumped on it. I knew I wasn't shipping some dried mangoes, but suddenly, God help me, it was fun. Up until then, I tried my best to be the dutiful son. I hated it. But man, I tried. This was a rush. It's a thrill. Lying through my teeth to customs, even that shady delivery guy. It felt like I was finally, truly living. You think? So, more jobs started coming. And everywhere I went, suddenly dangerous people were much better armed. I'd hear about armed conflicts and civilian casualties. Innocent casualties. And I'd pretend that wasn't me. Maybe I wasn't smuggling weapons, maybe I was carrying something else. As long as I never open the boxes, I can keep pretending. Not directly. And I tell myself they'd get guns from someone else. But in my heart, I knew blood was on my hands. Soon the boss man's relying on me, and the pay was nice. We also started partying a lot together. Hard. There are whole weeks that are blank. Never had a lick of trouble. Till I did. At the time, I thought I was the bee's knees. But looking back, a lot of it was dumb luck. I swear my damn name got me out of trouble most of the time. Oh, you're a Cole like Solomon? They just waved me through. I had booze enough and drugs enough to never really have to look too hard in the mirror. I knew if I did, I wouldn't like what I saw. Or where it was going. Yeah, but it takes two to tango. To this day, I don't know when I was running that last job, but it was tasty enough a whole mess of Crimson Fleet jumped me at the rendezvous. Yeah, a sane man would have been scared, but I looked at my pissant trading skiff's dual cannons and shouted, "Oh, this is on!" Yeah, I blew up one of the pirates before they realized that I was out of my gourd. I managed to get them down to 2 left before every system I had was fried. I was done. And that should have been the end. But that's when the Rangers showed up. It just felt right. Like this is what I was meant to be. And I was young, no care in the world. I thought, what, there's only 7 of you? I like those odds. I don't even know how I did it. Pure instinct, but it wasn't enough. And then, dependable and straight as an arrow, Lillian Hart came on the comm, and well, it's like hearing the voice of an angel. The Rangers took them out, no problem. All that's fuzzy, though. See, I passed out. And when I came to, Lillian was there. Seems the Rangers were impressed with me. Offered me a job. Yeah, by all rights, it should have been a prison cell, but Lillian, she saw something in me. And I took the job. And that's it. All my cards are on the table. Look, I'm guilty as hell of smuggling who knows what. And there are people I dealt with. Bad people. That would recognize me. But I swear I did more questionable stuff for the Rangers, under orders, mind you, than I ever did as a smuggler. Officially, my cargo was destroyed by the fleet. Unofficially, hell yes, she knew. She jettisoned it herself. I don't know why she did it, but she stuck her neck out for me. And after she helped me sober up, and put the mess I was back together. Well, after I hit bottom, I learned a lot. Fast. But the thing that scares me is Cora. I mean, I gotta tell her someday. Sometimes the way she looks at me, I'm not worthy of that. But to see that look gone... Well, ain't that something to look forward to? Just so you know, all this is why Lillian is something else. And I really need to own that. And have a tough talk with Lillian. Tell her about that follow-through you mentioned. Cora's at an important age right now. Every visit counts. You can't flake on her. Well, for now, let's do something more cheery. Like getting a root canal.
Feel free to help yourself at the bar. I don't drink, but I feel like if I did, now would be a...
Hate to interrupt, but I have a favor to ask. Lot of equipment on the Eye has reached the span's end. If we're going to find more artifacts further out, we need work done. Got the nods and signs from Sarah and Walter for the materials, but I need hands. Well, hold the lines, March. Seems like you got business with the person with you already. Tip my ear when you're done? Hate to interrupt, but lot of equipment on the Eye has reached the span's end. If we're going to find more artifacts further out, we need work done. Got the nods and signs from Sarah and Walter for the materials, but I need hands. Well, hold the lines, March. Seems like you got business with the person with you already. Tip my ear when you're done?
We've always considered ourselves explorers. This really is a journey.
Look at this. All these people, their entire lives distilled down to names on a memorial. I wonder how close I came to being reduced to just a name. These people laid down their lives for what they believed in, and it cost them dearly. I served shoulder to shoulder with them, and watched some of them die. I know you meant well, but they'll always be more than a name to me. And I care about you too. There's obviously some kind of a connection between us that I think we need to discuss. Just let me have another moment here, and then we can head over to the waterfall, so we can talk in private. Okay, I'm ready. Let's go. When things at the lodge are too much, I love coming to this spot to just sort of, I don't know, melt away for a while. It's lovely here, isn't it? I've been from one end of the settled systems to the other. But this place, this exact spot, there's nowhere else like it in the galaxy. I don't know. I'm not sure I can explain it. Maybe it's the strange way that the art, technology, and nature fuse together, or maybe it's because it feels like home. Whatever it is, I definitely feel more comfortable here than anywhere else I've ever been. I hadn't thought of it that way, but you're absolutely right. I usually come up here to mull over some of the heated debates we have at Constellation. You'd be surprised how many decisions I've made on this very spot. That's actually why I asked you to meet me up here. I was hoping we could talk about something very important. Good, because I have a lot to say. It's about my return to Cassiopeia. What we learned about Sona has been constantly replaying in my mind. Maybe it sounds crazy, but that young girl's isolation feels like a reflection of my own life. In all honesty, I don't. She simply reminds me of my own isolation. Maybe not in the literal sense of the word, but I certainly relate to some of her loneliness. Maybe. But for how long? I've spent my life surrounded by all sorts of people. Constellation, the Navigator Corps. Hell, even the UC military. Despite that, no matter how hard I've tried to make them a part of my life, they tend to drift away and disappear. Are you sure? For all we know, it's in my nature to keep people at arm's length. Or worse, push them away. Finding someone like that would be wonderful. Wait a second. What exactly are you saying? Sorry, I just need a moment to gather my thoughts. From things you've said in the past, it's obvious you want to have a serious relationship. You want to become close. So, if you're willing to take that leap of faith with someone like me, then I'm ready to do the same. I can't imagine being in love with anyone else. So, if you're willing to make the leap, I'm ready to do the same. You're something truly special. You know that? You've helped me conquer my self-doubt, my confidence, hell, everything. For the first time in my life, I feel complete. And with you by my side, I'm convinced that feeling will last forever. You're the best thing that's happened to me in my life. I love you. Always. I received a message from my mother a few days ago. She's returned from another one of her sightseeing cruises. Yeah, you know, one of those luxury liner journeys that shows off binary stars, gas nebulas, asteroid fields. Pretty photogenic stuff. Apparently, it's my mother's new favorite pastime. Why would you be... Oh, I see. We never talked about this, did we? The truth is that my mother lives in a fairly remote location, so we rarely speak to one another. Sure, when you're younger. But as soon as you get older and they begin controlling your life, that's when you need to strike out on your own. Oh, I'm certain they felt they were doing the right thing. You see, both of my parents were diplomats working under the flag of the UC Administrative Division. After I completed my basic education, they signed me up for a one-year apprenticeship in their department, without bothering to ask. It's the governmental arm of the United Colonies. You know, the politicians, the diplomats, the ambassadors. Imagine having to spend most of your career hovering behind a desk. Oh, I can't even fathom anything more boring. Look, I was 18 years old, fresh out of school, and I idolized my parents. I trusted them. I'm certain they felt they were doing what was best for their daughter. Who was I to argue? Wanted isn't the right word. Demanded would be more appropriate. For my apprenticeship, I was sent to Sidonia. My job consisted of drafting political policies and arbitrating trade disputes. The silver lining of the job was that it allowed me to spend time exploring every square inch of Mars. You have to understand, this was my first time I was alone on another world. Now, don't get me wrong. Jemison is an amazing place, but for me, it was the old neighborhood. Mars was like a new frontier. Oh, I spent every waking moment I could exploring the planet. I was swallowed by it. Months before the apprenticeship ended, I dumped my diplomatic certification and joined the UC Navy. Of course, my parents didn't approve. We had a huge argument that resulted in all ties being severed between us. Well, that wasn't the worst of it. You see, my father was killed during the opening shots of the Colony War. I returned to Jemison for the funeral and reunited with my mother. After that, we vowed to stay in touch. After the Freestar Collective started farming Vesta, and the UC pushed back, my father was one of the many diplomats sent in to arbitrate. After the talks broke down, war broke out on Vesta, and all of the UC diplomats were evacuated from Freestar space. Unfortunately, my father's transport was caught in the crossfire. Aren't you sweet? Always concerned with how I'm feeling. That's why I fell in love with you. Your smile, your caring. It brightens even my darkest days. Listen, I'm going to be completely upfront with you. All this talk of family, it makes me wonder where our own relationship stands. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I regret the family life I left behind when I took off for the stars. If there was ever a chance for something like that between us, I wouldn't want to miss the opportunity. I love you too much to allow that to happen. That's why I asked about our future and where we stand. You mean that? You'd do that? For me? I've been dreaming about this moment and still... I don't know what to say. Yes, yes, of course, yes. I just need a little time to think about the ceremony. I have some thoughts about how we should move forward. You know, I used to dream about finding the love of my life. And here you are. All I ever needed was you, right here beside me. A lot on your mind? Oh, it's difficult to put into words. Being with you is like, well, a dream come true. Good. Anytime you want to talk about our relationship, just let me know. God knows you've done that enough times for me. Oh, you're going to make me blush again, aren't you? Every time you talk to me, I fall in love with you more and more. I say something you didn't like? Oh, damn. I was starting to enjoy the conversation. Good to be home.
As much as I love uncovering new questions, I wouldn't mind a few answers now and then.
Oh, sorry. Was doing the tallies work in my head. Inventory on the station, next supply run. Hate to interrupt, but I have a favor to ask. Lot of equipment on the Eye has reached the span's end. If we're going to find more artifacts further out, we need work done. Got the nods and signs from Sarah and Walter for the materials, but I need hands. Console parts, replacement wires that have burned out, some fixes to the intercom between the station and the lodge. Won't be going alone. Need more than just the you and I. Asked around. A few constellations are already on their way up.
See you on the eye.
Going to take a lot of hands to shore up the eye. The fixing is going to need your help. See you on the station. Got a few others heading up to help out.
Need some work done? You should inspect your ship for heat leeches every couple land. I'm sure you can find something you like. Okay, no problem. I'm sure you can find something.
Captain Adrian, do you require my assistance?
Setting up some software. Want to test the computer over there? Help Vladimir code up this system the first time. Now, how did this work again? If you could just give my ingenious software a test run. Now that is some fine teamwork.
Lend a hand? Grab a couple of wrenches and let's tighten this equipment down. Just grab a wrench. Should be quick. Well, I'm certain that wasn't supposed to happen. Check with Vladimir?
Spend so much time looking at the scans, I can see star systems orbiting in my head. You color the wrong wires. Station showing red. Bad. Nastier than I measured. Figured a few of the parts might be iffy, but this is going to take more than a span.
Oh, I should have checked the compatibility when we made the order. I can stay with you until we get all this fixed.
No need for the martyr's clothes, but I'm happy to have the help. As for you, while we're giving the eye the swords, need to tip your ear on another matter when you got the time.
If you want help, I'm here.
Don't want to worry anyone, but we got more competition. Not Starborn, rival collector. Captain Petrov owns a salvager vessel called the Scow, runs it like a palace of novelties, and he's got a new prize in his collection. The Scavenger hires every gun and knife willing to chop relics out of their owner's hands for pay. Scrapes out any derelict ships his mosquitoes can find. Reached out through my hand-to-hands to see if we can do an honest swap. He says the rock ain't for sale for any price. Think we're gonna need a crowbar and bag for this one. He's got a reputation for seeing the gold in things, but he's no lab coat. Thinking he knows it's unique, but not why. All the more reason to clutch tightly. Left the life of a jack-of-bones behind myself. I know what I'm asking. But I see a clutch prize not up for the prying any other way. Not sending you lone hook on the job. I want Sam with you on this one. You two will be foot to foot the whole way, so make sure you're ready. As we always say, each member of Constellation is their own conscience. I'll leave the details of the doing to you. Catch a smile out there. Gave up my room in the lodge so Andreja had a place to call her own. Everyone needs space to let their thoughts run solo. The eye's showing signs over another one of those big anomalies. Here, catch a smile.
Hello there. Worried? No, I think it's fascinating. I know they maybe seem scary at first, but what if it's just a threat display? You know, how lots of species will puff themselves up or show off their teeth and growl to scare off anything they don't like. I don't know. I'm just a kid. I just thought maybe we shouldn't assume the worst. No, I get that. Just maybe it's not as bad as it looks. That's all. Sure sounds like we haven't seen the last of them, so I guess we'll see what happens. Bye!
We will need to check all the repairs on this station from top to bottom, as they say. Vladimir and I will confirm everything is functioning properly. It is too important to risk another mistake. Vladimir and I will confirm everything is functioning properly. It is too important to risk another mistake.
find anything? find something? If I didn't know any better, I'd say this is a sign of alien life. Hell, it may still be a sign of that. Sarah. How about getting Cora to go to sleep at her bedtime? No, too powerful.
With the scow. Our captain is not taking visitors. No one uninvited boards the scow. Captain's orders. Maybe so. The captain does love letterers. We could use the money. I don't know if you'll convince the captain, though. All right. I'll clear you to dock. Keep yourself out of trouble, or we'll have every hired gun in the cargo bay after you.
We'll let you on board. But Petrov was done hiring mosquitoes. Or maybe you're after something from the captain's collection. Well, he calls us some old Earth term. Oh yes, The Rock. He's not selling it. But if you want to hear him laugh in your face personally, go right ahead.
You might find we can be really persuasive. About rocks. We just love rocks.
Go on then. Trade it for it. Some dusty hauling ore from the fringe. Was glad when he left. It's all shakes and muttering. Strewn about all over. The good stuff's locked up in a vault for Petrov's own personal viewing pleasure. And before you ask, Petrov's the only one with the keys, so don't try bribing any of the crew. You'll just waste your money. Petrov's got a whole little alien zoo in the back. He's asking for trouble with those things. But the locks on the cages are pretty high-end. Thankfully. You want to speak to the captain.
Don't have time for you. Get lost.
Wait, you know that's not ours.
The Scow's not a bad ship, as long as you shut your eyes. Petrov pays for all this junk. But at least he pays.
Welcome to Petrov's Palace of Peculiarities, the pinnacle of perfect procurement, the penultimate panopticon of prosperity. Ha ha ha!
Did you hear there's alien creatures on board the ship? Captain calls it a zoo.
Got work to do.
You know, if it were up to me, we wouldn't let people on the ship we haven't vetted personally.
Ah, I wasn't aware we had the visitors. Waddick, you didn't tell me we had visitors.
We have visitors.
Excellent. Now that you've gone to all this trouble to get here, you should make yourself at home. Relax. Kick up your feet on the tables. I don't care they have scorch marks on them anyway. Oh, flattery, huh? My favorite pastime, huh? Between you and me, I do have something very special in the vault. Ah, but my jealous heart knows no bounds. I want to keep it all to myself. Tempting. I do love showing off. But my security team will have a heart attack. It would be against all those protocols that I admittedly told them to make. Oh, you do have a point. Now, no need to be insulting. Very well. What's a quick look going to hurt, huh? I know. People look at me and say, Petrov, your whole ship is a testament of splendor. Why do you need a special vault? Well, all I can say is that even the greatest collection needs its own private viewing area. Plus, between you and me, there are thieves everywhere. So I spared no expense. Every door between me and my treasures is painful, but that is the price of security, huh? Que sera? Just a bit further. This ship and I have been through some adventures, I'll tell you. I once collected salvage from a Deimos Celestial class while it was exploding. The crew was scraping scorch marks and bits of metal off the hull for weeks. And of course, there was the time I accidentally steered us into a UC Navy vessel after a particularly uproarious celebration of my latest acquisitions of fine art. But we were wedged perfectly between their two thrusters and were able to just kind of push them back into the star yard for repairs. And now, the moment itself. Ah, beautiful, isn't it? The man who sold me this told me that it spoke to him. That holding it for the first time was like drowning in your own soul. Alas, I've held it several times and my soul is still breathing, devoid of any such enlightenment. Why, yes, he did. Well, I think I understand who you are now. Or at least what you want. Touch that artifact and I'll make sure every trade route protected by the United Colonies knows you're nothing more than a pirate.
Be that as it may, we need that artifact.
I'm afraid not. I'm easy in all things, except my collection. Then I suppose it's just a question whether my immeasurable love for my collection and my crew of hired cutthroats is enough to stop you. Go ahead. Make a move for the artifact. Let's see what happens.
I don't see any moves we got left here.
I surrender! Don't kill me!
Get out now.
We're only doing what we have to.
Done! Stand down, everyone. Let the nice pirate pass.
Get out now. Get out now. Get out now. Get out now.
Now, no need for further violence. We're all friends here.
lucky the captain's a coward. If it were me...
Damn pirate. Get what you came for and leave. Filthy pirate. We're not gonna forget this.
Captain's going to find some way to blame this all on me. I just know it.
Wonder how much Petrov will need to pay to recover from all this.
Damn it, Petrov. I was just getting warmed up. So what? We're just going to let you loot the ship?
Identified as a known criminal. Respond immediately or we will be forced to open fire. I've got special orders. You're coming with me. Stand down and prepare for immediate transport to our vessel. We have orders to transport you and your vessel to your final destination, the UC Vigilance. Any deviation from those orders on your part will be considered an act of hostility and will be met with aggressive force. I've been authorized to inform you that you're being transferred to the UC Vigilance. You'll find out more when you get there. Other than that, I'm not at liberty to divulge any additional information. Smart decision. Stand by to be boarded and transferred.
I'm telling you, the commander's got plans for this loser. Why else would he be going through all this trouble?
I still don't understand why he trusts a criminal. Seems like too much of a risk.
Stop worrying and keep an eye on our guest. I'll be right back.
You just sit tight. The commander wants to have a little chat.
The prisoner's ready, sir. I hope you're comfortable. We have a lot to discuss. I'm your ticket out of the mess you've gotten yourself into. That's all you need to know for now. Highly perceptive. Let me add that to your list of skills. Speaking of which, let's see what we're working with here. Pretty unremarkable past. Not much to speak of there. I also see that you mined on Vectera, and now you're with Constellation. You've certainly been quite busy. Oh, and look at that. Right at the bottom of this list is the criminal incident that landed you in my crosshairs. I will, when I'm ready. Now that we have that out of the way, let me introduce myself. My name is Commander Kibwe Ikande, and I'm in charge of this operation for UC SysDev. Are you familiar with what we do? United Colonies System Defense. Does that help you figure out exactly what it is we do? Actually, that's something new we're trying. I figured we needed to branch out a bit, broaden our horizons. UC SysDev is a division of the UC Navy. While they handle the big picture stuff, we deal with a very particular problem. The Crimson Fleet. That convict is where you enter the picture. On the books, they maintain combat-ready spaceborne forces to deter aggression and ensure the safety of the United Colonies. What all that fancy claptrap means is that they're the ones who fight in the wars to keep our territories secure. Are we really playing this game? The pirates, like the ones you tangled with on Vectera? Please stop pretending you have no idea what I'm talking about. No, you don't. Not yet, anyway. We've been prodding at the Crimson Fleet for years, trying to take them down one ship at a time. But we barely scratched the surface. If we can get someone on the inside, we'll have a shot at finding a loose thread we can pull to bring it all down. If the military rolls in and attacks the Crimson Fleet, we'd have a full-scale war on our hands. That means losses, heavy losses, that the United Colonies can't afford. Not for me, for yourself. Look, I'm going to make this simple. Agree to work for UC SysDev, and together we take down the Crimson Fleet. Refuse, and I tell these guys to throw you into the nearest lockup. Might even tack on an extra few hundred credits to your fine. Well, first of all, we'll forget about the infraction that landed you on the Vigilance. Wipe the slate clean. Better still, depending on how well you do your job, we'll even kick in a few extra credits to offset any cost that the operation will incur. Or, you can throw all that away and end up back in jail with a hefty fine attached. I'm not coercing you into doing anything. I'm simply giving you a chance to redeem yourself. So, what do you say? You going to work with me, or should I find someone else? If I didn't think you had a chance, I would have left you in lockup. You're just going to have to follow your instincts and trust me. You aren't leaving until I have an answer. Smart choice. I'm going to have one of my men escort you to the operations center. I strongly suggest that you don't give him any trouble. And don't bother trying to leave the ship. I think you'll find all access to the docking area is fully restricted.
All right, let's go. So, you took the op instead of serving the time. Gonna be the commander's new mole, huh? Going in all alone, infiltrating a bunch of pirates. You've got a lot of guts. Still, it makes you wonder, especially with the stories that go around. Like the one about how the fleet deals with informants by lashing them to the hull of a ship, and then slowly letting the air out of their suit. Could you imagine a worse way to go? I know I couldn't. But I wouldn't worry about it. Since the commander handpicked you, I'm guessing you can hold your breath for a really long time, right?
Yes. What?
All right. This is as far as I go. Take the lift up to Ops. Commander Ikande should be waiting for you.
Ikande's on level 2. Try not to touch anything until he actually clears you.
Hello. Excuse me. Pardon.
Excuse me.
Howdy.
Can we try and focus on the matter at hand, please? Ah, there you are. Excellent. Now that we've established your level of cooperation with us, I want to introduce you to your new home. This is the Operations Center of the UC Vigilance, SysDef's nerve center dedicated to the destruction of the Crimson Fleet. We are currently in the Sol system, in deep orbit around Phobos. As to why, I'll explain momentarily.
Which is precisely why we're taking a more clandestine approach. We need eyes and ears inside the Crimson Fleet. Someone who can feed us information, evidence, and expose their weaknesses. The catch is that you can't just knock on their front door and ask for an application. Getting inside is going to take some finesse. Let's get one thing straight right now. While you're working for me, I'm going to treat you like one of my own. Whatever crimes you've committed in the past no longer matter. You're now an agent of SysDev, meaning that it's my job to keep you alive. Good. I have just the right place for you to start. Our intelligence has managed to find a possible opening into the Crimson Fleet through Saoirse Bowden, one of their contacts. She works for the Trade Authority in Sidonia, so you'll be using a container of Aurora we've loaded on your ship to get her attention. Aurora is a Class A controlled substance that's illegal to transport outside of Neon, a city on Volai. Get caught with this stuff aboard a ship, and you're looking at some serious fines. That's classified. Suffice to say that the smuggler who was previously holding it will be spending the rest of their life in prison. That's right. So it'll be your job to convince this person that you're the real deal. Once you bluff your way into the Crimson Fleet, then the operation proceeds to evidence gathering. That's where my second-in-command, Lieutenant Gillian Toft, comes into the picture. She'll explain everything you need to know. Let's just say my superiors need proof that engaging the Crimson Fleet is a larger priority than they're willing to admit. If we shove enough concrete evidence under their noses, they'll have no choice but to allocate the resources that I've requested. At the same time, we can use the evidence to arrest members of the Crimson Fleet, weakening them enough to strike a fatal blow. If I didn't have confidence in your abilities, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Remember, this entire operation rests on your ability to infiltrate the Crimson Fleet and bring us the evidence we need to take them down. Then you better learn to swim, because you're diving right into the deep end on this one. I've studied your profile. I know you can do this. I'm not about to throw away someone's life on a whim or a prayer. Just use your best judgment, trust your instincts, and watch your back. Fine. Whatever gets the job done. Look, before you begin, I want to make something perfectly clear. As an undercover operative for UC SysDev, you'll be expected to follow our code of conduct and ethics. Allow yourself to stray too far off the path, and you stand a good chance of spiraling out of control. The Crimson Fleet doesn't follow the rules. They only abide by one thing: money. All of their morals and social graces fall by the wayside in pursuit of their greed. At first glance, this can appear quite enticing, so I'm warning you not to get lured into their trap. Think you can handle that? To put it simply, you can't go into every situation with guns blazing. Think before you act. Calculate what you're doing and pull the trigger only when it's absolutely necessary. At the end of the day, your primary goal is taking down the Crimson Fleet. That's the greater good. That's what I wanted to hear. Anyway, it's time to hand you over to Lieutenant Toft. She'll brief you about the details of the evidence-gathering portion of the operation. Now, get out of here, and good luck. While you're running with the Crimson Fleet, you're undoubtedly going to be faced with some morally gray decisions. It's going to be difficult for you to weigh the consequences of pulling the trigger while maintaining your cover. Do what you have to do, but remember why you're out there in the first place. Then you do what you have to do. The Crimson Fleet has the potential to kill hundreds, even thousands of people per year. If it takes a few deaths to maintain your cover, then so be it. But only as an absolutely final resort. This is not a licensed killing spree. Understood? That's why I expect you to constantly seek alternative means to overcome your obstacles, rather than blowing holes in them. Look, I can see that you're struggling with this. So let me simplify this for you. If there's a route to your goal which doesn't involve killing innocent people, I'm urging you to follow that path. Use your instincts. I'm certain you'll do the right thing. For your own safety, nobody but myself and the crew of the Vigilance will be aware that you're working for the United Colonies. Basically, if you land in jail, you're going to have to deal with the fines. All we know is that she's been with the Trade Authority for years, which means she's been privy to some seriously shady deals. She's shrewd and she's diligent. The only reason we were able to connect her with the Crimson Fleet at all was thanks to an informant. I'm afraid she's the best lead we've got. That's easy to answer. You don't. We'll be monitoring your activities from the Vigilance and attempting to keep it within your vicinity. When you feel you've gathered enough evidence, and at the completion of your assignments, head back here for a debrief. Beyond that, you're completely on your own. Dismissed.
Hey. All right. We don't have a lot of time, so I need you to listen up. While you're working undercover, it's imperative that you gather as much evidence as possible. If you find any records that look suspicious or incriminating, you bring it to me. Is that understood? Well, since it isn't every day we stumble across a criminal's fully written confession, we need to build a case against our suspects. The more evidence we acquire, the stronger our case becomes. And knowing the Crimson Fleet, they'll leave plenty of evidence for you to find. I'd scour every inch of wherever the Crimson Fleet sends you. Otherwise, you're wasting our time and risking your neck for nothing. Criminals are sloppy. Look hard enough and I'm certain you'll stumble across their mess. You better make it, because Commander Akande cashed in all his chips to get this operation off the ground. I want data slates, computer downloads, handwritten notes. Hell, I'll take anything if it'll get those bastards thrown into the brig. Haven't you been paying attention? Our goal here is the complete eradication of the Crimson Fleet. In order to do that, we need to dismantle them piece by piece from within. If you bring me evidence, we can make arrests and slowly drain their resources. Think of it as a death by 1,000 tiny cuts. For the sake of the settled systems, I hope you're right. That minor skirmish you had with them on Vectera was nothing compared to the death and destruction those pirates leave behind. If you've seen what I've seen, you'd understand why I'm pushing you so hard. What? No. It's personal. It has nothing to do with you. Just stick to the mission and you'll be fine. Then you'll understand why it's so important that this operation is successful. Anyway, before I let you go, there's just one more thing. Commander Akande has authorized a credit disbursement for each piece of evidence that you return, as compensation for your efforts. Well, that's just it. You're not career military, are you? And speaking frankly, you're completely out of pocket during this operation. You'll be paying for your own supplies and other unexpected incidentals. So, if I were you, I'd stop asking questions and accept the compensation. It's not generous, it's motivational. Commander Akande's idea. All right, we've loaded a container of Aurora into your ship's cargo hold. We're also providing you with a sample you can use to tease the goods. We've cleared your ship for launch. Proceed to Sidonia. Make contact with Saoirse Bowden. And with any luck, she'll point you to the Crimson Fleet. That should do it. You're dismissed. Don't worry, the container's been registered with UC Security, so you shouldn't have any trouble. Even if you're scanned. Of course, if we find out you tried to sell it to someone outside the boundaries of this particular operation, well, I don't think I need to tell you the consequences of making that mistake. We'll be keeping them close at hand until this operation is complete. So, we'll be holding them in the Vigilance's brig. If you're feeling particularly ruthless, you could always head down there and say hello. I'm sure they'll be thrilled to see you. Not really, no. I've learned to keep my personal experiences separate from the job. Yeah. Maybe... No, it's not really an appropriate time to be going over my private life. There are much more important things to be done. Let's just stick to the job at hand and concentrate on the mission. But, maybe we can talk about it some other time, okay? We'll be here if you need us.
Pardon. Yes?
I don't know about you. People who work undercover, they're sneaky by nature. Hard to read. When I fly, I want someone beside me who I can predict. Boxes by the Marquess of Queensbury rules. But you're a southpaw. A wild card. You might. But we aren't at that point yet. And right now, I have my reservations that we'll ever get there. But if Commander Ikande says you're Sistef, then you are one of us. For now. I cut my teeth on space trucks, believe it or not. Before I got my stripes, I was just another cargo hauler trying to earn an honest wage. But after a couple slick escapes, I got recruited to the academy and went from dodging pirates to hunting them. Thing is, some of my best tricks were with a big rig. Ever try a pitchback with a Hope Tech truck with 2 fleet wraiths on your tail? Compared to that, doing it with a military fighter is a piece of cake. Long story. I got my start in the academy and made a name for myself hunting the Crimson Fleet. I eventually got recruited to do test flights on a star station orbiting Lloyden's Rock. Me and 3 other Archangel pilots did some work on some extremely dangerous prototypes. But I called in a few favors and got back home with Sistef. Someone with my talents needs to be here, where the action is. You guessed it. In fact, I'd say you've got what linguistic experts call FOGO, a firm grasp of the obvious. But I'm not just any pilot. I'm the best, and I've got the kills to prove it. You got some set of manners, kid. The fleet are gonna eat you up. Later, Gator.
Looks like organics aren't going to be a problem here.
Noel sure seems worried.
Vladimir, alive, come in. Come in. The eye's gone completely dark. I can't reach anyone on the station.
Noel, Starborn, came out of nowhere.
Vladimir, get out of there!
He already left. Said he was going to the lodge. Sarah, she's still breathing, but oh God, all that blood.
Hello, Constellation. Are you there?
Who are you? What did you do to our friends?
They call me the Hunter. And now that I'm here, your part in glimpsing the Unity is over. I'm already on my way. Say goodbye to your friends. It won't be long.
Forget about us! That Starborn bastard is after the artifacts! You can't let him take them! Pack up the collection, move it somewhere they can't find it!
He's right. We need to bunker down here and get those artifacts ready to move. Might need every gun to hold that Starborn off.
What about everyone on the Eye? We can't leave them to die up there.
Can't blame you, but sure could use your help when that Starborn comes knocking.
I don't know how long it's gonna take to pack up the artifacts. I'll get started. Hopefully this will only take a few minutes, if my hands can stop shaking.
Everyone take cover, now.
Where? Do you really expect them to barge through the front door?
You leaving? Gonna barricade the door once you're out. Be able to let you back in. Don't know how many of us it's gonna take to keep whoever this Hunter is at bay. Otherwise, I'd be at that door with you. You too.
Oh, thank heavens. You're all right. Oh, not that I've seen, but I've been drifting in and out. We didn't see the Starborn ship dock until it was too late. By the time we managed to take defensive positions, the doors were already opening. We didn't see him at first. Vladimir went sailing straight into the control room. Then the Starborn was just... there. The rest is just... combat blur. Adrenaline. Pain. no time to waste. Let's get going.
You're alive. Krix's ghost can keep waiting. Not many sights to see before I lost the lights. Can't be sure yet. Starborn could have done a lot more damage. Guessing the glitter of the prize wasn't here. Saw the ship dock with the eye. We took up the arm's call, but when the doors opened, there was no one there. Skulked in like a damn specter. Before I had to know, it was nothing but pain's wings and a cold sleep. Time's unknown, but I came too long enough to hear him gloat about going to the lodge and seeing our friends trying to crawl away from him on a bloody trail. No tears for the old. Got the others to worry about.
He came out of nowhere. I only saw the one. We were working on the repairs when the ship docked. We ran to defend the station, but after the doors opened, there wasn't anyone there. Then, all of a sudden, Vladimir screamed in pain, and I saw him flying through the air. That's when I saw the Starborn. It went very quickly after that. Thank you. I don't think I can move right away. But I'll make it. Go on. Thank you again. I will be all right.
Okay, I admit, my famous personality wasn't so much help with this one. Besides the big, ugly one, not that I saw. Starborn ship came in nice and quiet. Just happened to look outside and see it docked. Everyone came running, but no one. Doors open, no one there. Vladimir took one step towards the ship and then boom! He's in the air. Slammed those impressive triceps on one of the consoles. Cloaking device, maybe? Or one of those powers from the artifacts. Guess they're more than just a party trick, huh? I don't think I'm going anywhere for a bit. Give the meds some time to kick in. You go ahead.
I'll be fine. Keep going.
Dad, come on. You have to keep your eyes open.
Sam. Sam, can you hear me? It's Sarah. Sam. Cora will be fine, okay, Sam? We won't let anything happen to her.
Dad! Dad, get up! Get up! Please? Go away! I told him you were coming. He just had to hold on a little longer. I hate you! Leave me alone!
Constellation has lost people before, but not like this.
Go away!
We'll get through this, together.
I appear to only be seriously damaged instead of critically damaged. Fortunate. The hunter was able to utilize some form of cloaking. He took the members of Constellation by surprise. Noel was able to escape with the artifacts, while the rest of us engaged in hostile maneuvers. The rest was short and violent. That you are likewise relatively undamaged is also preferable to the alternative. I should run some additional diagnostics before resuming normal function.
It went quickly after you left. Walter was upstairs when he screamed. I went to check on them, and then the hunter appeared out of nowhere. We fought him off as best we could, while Noel packed up the artifacts and escaped. We held him off while Noel escaped through the basement. There's a door that leads to the well district. I'll make it. Get going.
Took you long enough. I didn't see much. I didn't see anything, really. That hunter attacked me, I'm sure of that. I heard the others fighting him. Noel screaming and running off with the artifacts. Noel, she might still be in danger. There's a secret door in the basement. Leads right to the well district. That would have been the safest route for her to run.
This is your fault! Leave me alone!
Stay back! I'll... Oh, thank God. Thank God, thank God, thank God. I don't know. I just ran and hid. I keep thinking he's just around the corner. I still have the artifacts, but where do we take them?
Ah, there you are. I wasn't expecting you to run to the eye.
You! You're not getting the artifacts!
Yes. Let's see if they can slip from my grasp this time, shall we?
suit.
That pilot exam's gone.
you're back. Thank the blackest sea that you and Noel are safe. And the artifacts? The lodge. So, we slip from the Starborn's grasp, but not before taking a stab straight in the heart. We need to talk locks and bolts. Lodge and the Eye are not secure. Years in the making to modify the station. Take time to fix the damage, but more is the worse if we abandon her and try to start over. Got the right of it.
Hunter, he probably found us because we're somewhere obvious. High populated area, just like how the Starborn found you orbiting Neon the first time. But the fact that they're competing with us to find the artifacts means they can't get them without searching.
So we put the artifacts somewhere in the fringe, or on something that can slip from their grasp if they do another strike from the curtain. Clear from the few encounters we've had that the artifacts are all the Starborn prize.
They could come after us though. Try to find out where we put them.
Need to take the risk. The Eye, the equipment in the lodge, not easily moved. Gotta hope whatever is giving the Hunter pause applies to the whole. Just need to make another direct hit less the jackpot. Fine idea. Starborn show up, you can burn helium in one spin of the grav drive to anywhere.
Here, keep the artifacts safe. I guess we'll meet back at the lodge after?
Noel and Vladimir are right. The artifacts need a new home.
We can't move home and hearth, but we can at least move the artifacts.
Hopefully, the Starborn can't track this, our Millery, as they call it.
No, my plan might be a fool's test, but taking the artifacts back to the lodge won't cut it.
Well, do you need me for something? I'll see you later.
It's done. Let's head home.